If it isn't the consequences of our own actions come a knockin', Arsenal suffer a 3-1 defeat at the carpet to the Huns, the financial cheats and charlatans. Really, really tough game. Let's get into it. Good afternoon, my peoples, and welcome back to the counterattack. I hope you yours are doing very, very well. Arsenal today take on the Huns. Manchester City, the financial criminals. You know who it is, my people. And I looked at the lineup this afternoon, and oh my goodness, about 3 hours before the match, the rumors started filtering through. Thomas Partey apparently has a slight muscle injury, a hamstring injury, and it was rumored that he wouldn't start. And as the game got closer and closer, Ornstein confirmed it. So Jorginho comes into the lineup, the ex-Chelsea man who we signed in January. He makes his first Premier League start for the Arsenal, and another change at the back. Ben White is not at right back. Tomiyasu comes in at right back. With no Thomas Partey, we are going to miss his physicality and verticality when it comes to passing. He is basically press resistant, and that's just not something that we can replicate with, I don't think, with Jorginho at all. And honestly, I was hoping for a draw. We actually started off the match really, really good. The last few matches, we haven't started the best, kind of lethargic. But in this one, we started really well, and we were going to have to. Nketiah had a chance at the beginning. I believe it was a header. He sends it wide. He really has not been too clinical of late. But on 24 minutes, oh my goodness. Despite starting well, City get the first goal of the match, and they didn't do anything up until this point. Tomiyasu, he plays a blind back pass to Ramsdale. I believe Saliba did the similar thing earlier in the season. He got caught out for it. This time, Tomiyasu gets caught out for it, and it's 1-0 City. De Bruyne with the goal, with their first chance. And the bad feeling started for me. About 3 hours before the match, when the rumors about Partey came out, I was absolutely panicking, my people. But Jorginho, credit to him, he actually played really quite well today. I was impressed with his vertical passes, his ability to beat the press. I thought he did really, really well, especially in that first half. And oh boy, here comes Arsenal's first goal, my people. Love a goal against City, and you know who it is. Just like last year at the Emirates, it's Bukayo Saka. He scores the penalty, but Ederson comes flying out and absolutely clatters into Eddie Nketiah. 100% a penalty kick. Couldn't believe what I was seeing. Some people saying it wasn't a penalty. What a bunch of nonsense, my people. Saka slots it in, 1-1. Clearly, the referees have been given a mandate to book anyone they think is time wasting, because that's exactly what we saw here. There were numerous. I think there were 3 players, 2 for City and 1 for Arsenal, that were booked for time wasting. Early on, Ederson was booked as well. But Bernardo Silva, oh boy, this man should not even be on the pitch today. It took 4 fouls for the referee to finally find his pockets and book him. Really, really ridiculous. But we played very well in that first half. We were quite dominant in possession, in passes, in our ability to break the press and then counter press. You know what it is, my people. Mostly dominant in that first half, and we kept City off the ball and restricted them to set-piece chances, and of course, our mistake. In the second half, I was looking for more of the same, except this time with less mistakes and a few more goals for us. So our press and our counter-press, like I said, were working pretty well, and in the start of the second half, things looked okay for us, but as it got into the 50th, 55th minute, you could really see that City was trying to make this a bit of a scrappy game, and then they started penning us all the way in our box. It was kind of impressive the way they sort of just cranked up the pressure, just turned the screw on us, very subtly and slowly pushing us further and further back, and by the 60th, 65th minute, we couldn't play out of the back at all. You know what's funny? Not funny haha, but funny weird that City basically, up until their third goal, had no real attacking threat in the final third at all. I thought they were pretty neutered up until the 75th minute. But oh my goodness. Here comes their second goal, and it's another individual error. I believe it was Gabriel who mishits a pass forward. It sort of goes off the bottom of his boot. Zinchenko falls asleep. They work it into the box, and Grealish finishes. The ball actually went in pretty close to Ramsdale, so I was like, oh, maybe he made a mistake. Come to find out on the replay, it deflected off Tomiyasu's boot and sort of took it away from him. 2-1 City, but just the weird thing about it is it's not like they were playing well in their final third. We just kept on shooting ourselves in the foot. City's tactic of penning us into our first phase of play and not letting us pass out of the back, it worked like a charm for them. We just really could not handle, their initial pressure, and eventually that told for the third goal. They get the ball, we turn over the ball in our own half again. They work the ball into Haaland. The defense just doesn't get tight enough in the box. They're sort of just reacting, really just trying to, cover space going backwards. And Haaland, he finished with his right foot into the side netting, 3-1 City. Today was always going to be a tough match without Partey. And also, we have to remember that for most of the last, can't remember now, like 2 or 3 months, we've been playing without our first choice striker. So take our first choice striker out of the mix and then take our best player out of the mix too. And then we have to go up against these financial cheats. Of course, it was always going to be hard. I think Jorginho, for the most part, I thought he played quite well. I think my fears about him were a little unfounded, but it's just those individual errors. Tomiyasu, then Gabriel, and Zinchenko falling asleep at the back a little bit. It's just was not good enough. I mean, City were not that good. I don't think they were very good at all in the first half. And in the second half, they had one tactic, which was pen us into our half, and it worked like a charm. They now go top of the Premier League, even though we have a game in hand. And we're in a title race. It's going to be a scrap. It's going to be unpleasant. And today is just exemplifies all of that nonsense. Thank you for sticking with me, my people. Please slap that like button, subscribe, and I will see you next time. Take care.